Hi guys, it is Candice, and from what you can tell from the title of this vlog, it is going to be all about trying to conceive, trying to get pregnant, and our pregnancy journey. So if you're following me to follow my diabetes vlogs or my arthritis vlogs, my recipe vlogs, anything like that, then this is probably not for you. But for those of you who are following my TTC journey, stay tuned. Basically, if you have looked back on any of my previous TTC vlogs, you will see that my husband and I have been trying to get pregnant or been on this journey for the last 2 years. We found out we were first pregnant back in January or late December of 2010, so early 2011. We had an early miscarriage. We then started actively TTC after 6 months, so midway through 2011, and we found out we were pregnant for the second time at the end of 2011, so early 2012. We then had a second early miscarriage in early 2012, and since then have been TTC with no luck. So it's been 2 years of trying to get pregnant and not succeeding, or succeeding but then losing or miscarrying very early on. And that's been disheartening and frustrating and emotional. We don't know why we haven't had any luck, and we haven't been diagnosed with anything. Of course, I have 2 autoimmune diseases and what could be the beginning of hypothyroidism. That's been my latest diagnosis. So the diabetes is going well, and there's been no indication of any reason why that should be causing any issues. It's well in control. The arthritis is the thing that's come back in the last year. It's flared up, and I've also had iritis, which is an inflammation of the iris, and that's related, so I've been on medication for that, and only in the last 3 months have I been diagnosed with the hypothyroidism, and I am on medication for that. So I'll do another vlog on all my health issues and medication for those of you who are interested. In terms of general details around ovulation and cycles and things like that, I do have a longer than normal cycle. My cycle is about on average 35 days long, but I do seem to have about a 2-week luteal phase, which is alright. In terms of tracking, I did go through a phase of trying to do temping and more detailed tracking, but to be honest, it was when I was starting to get really stressed about it, so I decided just to take a break from at least tracking. But we have been actively TTC in terms of making sure, that we regularly have sex and around the right times and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, we haven't had much luck. So through my diabetes specialist, my pump specialist, and the clinic at the through the public health system, I've been referred on to the women's clinic. So we have an appointment with them, my very first appointment with the obstetrician and the gynecologist. The first one's with a gynecologist and fertility specialist, which will be a week from today, and then there'll be a follow-up one with a different specialist. So I'm not sure why I have 2, but I have 2 appointments, and so the second one is at the end of the month. So my husband has been for a semen analysis, which we'll get the results of then, and I have had 2 cycles where I've had blood tests drawn for progesterone and checking my hormones when I'm supposed to be ovulating, which has been on day 21, day 23 and day 25, and I've also had a cycle day 2 blood draw. So hopefully we'll be able to get all of the analysis from that when we go for this first appointment. In terms of where we're at with, I guess we are now starting, we definitely want a family. The thing that I'm struggling with is, while I know that you can have healthy pregnancy and healthy children despite having type 1 diabetes, despite having arthritis and despite having hypothyroidism, if they are well checked, well managed, and you are aware of the issues, you can have healthy kids and you can have a healthy pregnancy. While I'm aware of all of that, I do feel like the odds are starting to stack against me, and I am starting to question whether or not that's a good idea, or whether or not having my own kids that are biologically mine is a good idea. Having said that, of course, adopting someone else's kids or going through surrogacy or anything like that, I know that there are still, there is the chance that you could. I guess what I'm trying to say is the risk of disease is always there, whether the kids are biologically mine or not. And no matter what happens, and whether or not we are we have a family or we have children who end up with autoimmune diseases or end up with less than perfect health, of course we're not going to love them any less. But I guess the question is do I want to set myself up for that? Do I want to set my family up for that? And I'm struggling with that. So we are researching adoption, and we are considering other options at the same time as researching our fertility issues and looking into it and looking into our options. I don't know whether or not we would consider IVF. I don't know whether or not we would consider or go through with it or go through with medicated cycles. So we want to research all our options at the same time. I would love to hear from anyone who is going through something similar, has been through something similar, or at least is just like struggling with it in their head. Is pregnancy the right thing for me right now, or ever? So I will definitely keep you updated. But right now we just don't know what path we're going to take. We definitely want kids, but do we want to pursue IVF and medicated cycles or anything like that? I don't know. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about it, or at least finding out more about our situation and our options. Of course, I'm researching it all online at the same time. Anyway, that's where we're at. Otherwise, I'll let you guys know.